So, yeah. Anyone who saw my vlog that I did earlier this week, I talked about the vote. And it's now Friday morning. Well, it's 20 to 11 on Friday. And we now know for certain which way the vote went. Okay, guys, I try not to swear. You know, my attitude to swearing is simple. I don't have a problem with it, but if you're going to do it, you should have a damn good reason for it. Because swear words are ultimately words of emphasis. They're there to put power behind something that is otherwise basic and standard, and they serve their function well. So, I think it's highly, highly appropriate that I just... To all the people who voted leave, what the fuck is wrong with you? What the flying fuck is wrong with you? I mean, let's face it, literally hours after the result came in, Farage flat out admitted that the 350 million quids, being spent on the NHS, bullshit. Complete bullshit. Literally hours after the result was in, our currency has nosedived. Our economy just lost 350 billion. I'm not kidding. Our economy is now at about the level it was in 1985. That is fucking insane. That's 8% of our economy. 1% is considered a bad fluctuation. 8% is unheard of. I'm not kidding. We just set a new record for most money lost from an economy in a single motion. What the flying fuck is wrong with people? Because, let's be honest, anyone who paid attention knew this was going to happen. Economists said this would happen. Anyone who wasn't a complete fucking moron knew this was going to happen. And here's the thing. Would you like to know the statistics? This is the really interesting part. Age group 18 to 24, my age group incidentally, I'm nudging up towards the top end of that, but yeah, 64% voted to remain with 24%ing to leave. This is in terms of actual people who voted. And the average number of years we're going to have to live with this decision, 69 years. Age group 25 to 49, 45% in, 39% leave, and they're going to have to live with it for about 52 years. 50 to 64-year-olds, 35% stay, 49% leave, and they're going to have to live with it for about 31 years. 65-plus-year-olds, 33% remain, 58% leave, and they're going to have to live with it for at most a decade. Here's the thing. Part of me is incredibly pissed off about this, but mostly, and oh god, I'm going to sound like a parent bit here, but I've moved past anger at this point. I'm fucking ashamed of my country because we have let fear, we have let paranoia, and we have let our worst instincts overrun us. And here's the interesting thing. They also worked out based on relative education levels in areas. They've worked out a rough guess. Would you be surprised to know that the better educated were voting in and the worse educated were voting out? No, I don't think you were. Because let's face it, any common sense showed that this would be bad. But the problem is, people have been force-fed lies and propaganda. I mean, let's face it, every part of the Leave campaign was bullshit. You couldn't back up a single goddamn one of their claims, and yet for some fucking stupid reason they were still allowed to make them. And I'm sorry, but oh my god. Here's the thing. A decision of this magnitude should not be made with a simple referendum, and thank God it isn't. Here's the thing. Referendum. Not legally binding. Not in any way. It's a public opinion poll, and it doesn't actually matter a jot. In order for us to leave the EU, Parliament still has to vote on it. So here's what needs to happen. David Cameron, you are fucked. You are gone no matter what. Let's be honest. You knew this was coming. You played the game of politics, and you've just been fucked up the arse harder than you fucked that pig. Incidentally, if you're not aware, our Prime Minister apparently face-fucked a dead pig. This is the quality of our political leadership, people. Oh, God. But yes, so, here's what needs to happen now. David Cameron, you are going to get kicked out as your party's leader. So what you need to do now is go out in a blaze of goddamn glory. You make a deal with Labour. You make a deal with everybody you can, and you stop this going through Parliament. Because, frankly, you know it's a colossal fucking mistake. And, will it probably throw you under the bus? Yes, but let's be honest. Bank of England, somebody like that. You basically make a flat... You do the political thing. You make a deal with them. You make a deal with some group or other. Somebody with a shit ton of cash who's going to get screwed over hard by this. And you say flat out, if you agree to give me a job when I quit being Prime Minister, you do that. Because here's the thing. David Cameron, you are probably the single worst Prime Minister we've ever had. And I'm counting in that a lot of pretty shit Prime Ministers. Because, let's be honest, you have now presided over probably the single biggest disaster that this country has ever seen. I'm exaggerating slightly, but here's the thing. You can argue that things like the World Wars were bigger disasters, but that wasn't entirely their fucking fault. That was, loads and loads of things building together to create a total clusterfuck. This situation was entirely created because you and your party decided you were going to put it in your election to satisfy the bigots. And unfortunately, it's now backfired hilariously. And it's my generation that's going to have to fucking pay for it. So if you've got any goddamn balls at all, before you leave office, which is gonna happen, let's be honest, have some fucking nerve and save this goddamn country. And I can't believe I'm doing this. I am arguing that the best goddamn hope for our country is a man that I would willingly punch in the balls for half an hour, and I'd enjoy it. Oh my fucking God. Oh God. Yeah. And as I said, the average 65-plus-year-old vote was estimated to be 73, using age distribution data. God, what the heck? I mean... Oh, God. Let's be honest, this is a goddamn disaster. And it's only... And the problem is we've got racist bigots celebrating because we've taken back our country! From fucking who? I'm not kidding, right? Their attitude is that... we've been sending all this money. Yeah, we've just lost more than 40 years worth of our EU contributions in one goddamn night because of this decision. This is going to screw up trade. This is, the value of the pound has been massively devalued, which is just, oh my God. And then you've got Scotland. Scotland basically saying that, that they did not, they don't want to leave the EU, so they might leave us and try and stay with the EU themselves, and that's going to be another goddamn clusterfuck. Which unfortunately means getting the aid of the SNP MPs in the Parliament could be extremely difficult to block this. But I'm sorry, we can't let it happen. Oh, God. This is going to be one that future historians are going to look back on and just go, wow. Were they really that fucking stupid? And apparently the answer was yes. Apparently... Oh, God. There was a time when you could be proud of this country. When our national ideals genuinely were tolerance, decency. And all this referendum has proved that bigoted, racist, dipshit morons have way too much fucking power. God. The next few years are going to be a fucking clusterfuck, and God knows what the hell's going to come out the end of it. Because here's the thing. All the people who think, oh, well, we can just leave and everything will be fine. No, we can't. Did you even read the process by which we'll have to leave? Granted, theoretically, we can leave at any time, but unmeshing ourselves from all the trade deals, we'll have to make new trade deals, and that's a mess. Because keep in mind, we're a tiny goddamn economy. Here's the thing. It's we sent so much money to Brussels. We sent 1.6%. 1.6% of our economy went towards contributions to the EU. And that's not even counting the stuff we got back. And once you factor in the stuff we got back from them, that drops significantly. We have lost more than 8% in one night as a result of this vote. I can't state how bad I'm pretty sure. I would have to do some research to check, but I am pretty sure that is the single biggest loss by a major first world economy ever. Jesus Christ. God. No, that's all I've got. Christ, I'm going to need a fucking huge drink after this. Of course, the imports on any decent plonk's going to get expensive, but hey. Right. That has been 12 minutes of me swearing at... Right. And do you know what the worst part is? The worst part is that it's people in my area. I'm from the northeast, and the map that just shows who voted Remain and who voted Leave. Oh my God! I mean, when I heard that Sunderland had voted Leave, I just thought, oh God, really? And then Newcastle Remain, but it was so fucking close in Newcastle, it doesn't even matter. But oh God, I thought we were better than this. Hell, I'm pretty sure Durham, my fucking home, voted Leave. And I thought we were better than this. I thought that the people around here were smarter than this, were wiser than this, and weren't driven by fear and hatred and people of Britain, you have disappointed me. You have disappointed me to a truly epic degree. And frankly, I am ashamed of you. I am ashamed that you have let cowardice, fear, and propaganda win you over. We're supposed to be smarter than this. We're supposed to be better than this. And you argue that we are. Oh, we're Great Britain. Well, we're not fucking well great anymore, are we? Fuck all of you. Fuck all of you so hard. Because and especially the older generation. Those of you who decided that life was better back before we had to deal with the EU. Back when we had... You know why the EU was formed? The EU was formed to prevent another world war. Now, let's be honest. That's not going to happen. But the amount of good that came out of the EU cannot be overstated. And now, just because that fucking prick Murdoch has decided that his papers were all going to back Leave because, and I quote, when I go to Brussels, no one listens to me, but when I go to Downing Street, everyone does. Fuck all of you. And I've just had enough.